In this lesson, I am going to give you a point and a slope, and I want you to, first of all, start by putting your point and your slope into point-slope form, and then converting that equation all the way to standard form, which is ax plus by equals c. Okay? So, we are going to start again by labeling this as x1 and this is y1. I'm going to start by plugging things into this equation. So I have y minus my y1, which is negative 2. And of course, minus a negative becomes positive, so I'm just going to switch that right away. Equals m, which is 4, times x minus x1. So x minus a negative 2 would become x plus 2. Okay, so this right here is the equation in point slope. Then I want you to get it into standard form. Honestly, to get it into standard form, you have to get it into slope-intercept form first. Okay, so we learned that in the last lesson, and we will just continue that here. So I need to distribute this 4 through now. So I have 4 times x, which is 4x, and 4 times 2, which is 8. And I have y plus 2 on the left side. Still not solved for y, so I want to subtract 2. And I have y equals 4x. 8 minus 2 is 6. Okay, so this is the equation in slope-intercept form. But I want you to go all the way to standard form. And remember that standard form has your x's and your y's both on the left side of the equation. So I would subtract 4x here. And then I have negative 4x plus a positive y, that would drop, equals 6. Okay, this is not correct standard form because remember that in standard form your a value cannot be a negative number, so I need to divide everything through by negative 1 so that I get positive 4x and negative y, and 6 divided by negative 1 would be negative 6. So this is the answer here in standard form. Okay, we'll do a couple more of those here. Again, we'll start off the same way. This is your x1, your y1, and I will plug it into this formula to start. So I will do y minus my y1, which is negative 5. So minus negative 5 becomes positive 5. My m is 1/2. And then x minus my x1, which is 2. Okay. So this, I should block this off. This right here is point slope. Okay, and then of course I need to simplify that, so I will distribute that 1/2 through. So 1/2 times x is 1/2 x. 1/2 times negative 2, half of negative 2 would be negative 1. And over here I will have y plus 5. Then of course I need to subtract 5. And I'll have y equals 1/2 x. Negative 1 and negative 5 makes negative 6. So this is in slope-intercept form, or y equals mx plus b form. And then I want you to go one more step to get into standard form. And again, standard form has your x's and your y's on the left side. So I would want to subtract 1/2 x. And I would have negative 1/2 x plus y equals negative 6. Two things are wrong with this in standard form. First of all, your first term in front of your x there can't be negative. And you also can't have fractions. So what I am going to actually do is multiply everything through by negative 2. Because negative 2, the negative times the negative will be a positive, and the 2 times 1/2 will get rid of that fraction. So I'm going to multiply this by negative 2, and I'm going to multiply this by negative 2. So negative 1/2 times negative 2 is positive x. Y times negative 2 is negative 2y. And negative 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. And that would be what it looks like in, finally, standard form. All right, let's do one more just to make sure you are okay. These don't always come out to be so pretty, so it's good that we kind of go through this. X1, Y1. Start with plugging it into this equation right here. When you have a point and a slope, it makes sense to use point-slope formula. Okay, so here we go. Y minus Y1, which is 5, equals M, which is 3/7, times X minus X1. So X minus -4 would be +4. And I'll have Y minus 5 distribute equals 3/7 X. 3/7 times 4 becomes 12/7. Okay. And now, I know this is not coming out to be so pretty. And actually I should have blocked this out, sorry. This right here is point slope. All right, now I've already done the first step of simplifying it. I should have done it in a different color, but I didn't. I distributed. Okay, and then I'm going to add 5. So those will drop, and I will have 3/7 X plus. Okay, now, it's okay. We can add fractions. Don't panic. We need to add 12/7 and 5/1. Our common denominator would be turn into 35/7 then, because our common denominator is 7. So I would multiply top and bottom by 7. So 12 plus 35 would become 47/7. So 12/7 plus 35/7 is 47/7. Okay, this then is in slope-intercept, or y equals mx plus b form. All right, and we want to go one more step and get it into standard form. So I want to subtract the 3/7 x, and then I will have -3/7 x plus y equals 47/7. Okay, here I need to get rid of the 7 that's in the denominators, so I need to multiply everything through by 7. And I also have a first term that's negative, so I need to multiply everything through by -1. So instead of multiplying through by 7 first and then multiplying through by -1, I can multiply by 7 times -1, which we know is -7. So I'm going to multiply everything through by -7. Okay, so -7 times -3/7 would be, the 7s would cancel, just so you know. I don't want you to really think about crossing this out, but the 7s would cancel, and then a negative times a negative would be a positive 3x. And I am going to do this so that it doesn't. Okay, there we go. So positive 3x. -7 times y is -7y. -7 times 47/7. Again, the 7s will cancel, and I'll just have that -1 times 47, which is -47. And this, then, would be standard form. Okay.